Dark Kingdom, Garoza makes her way back to her house to rest from the previous exhausting battle with Bal. However, on her way, she meets with Valis, who hands her a message to deliver to the Kingdom of Light. Despite her exhaustion, Garoza accepts the task as she would get to meet the Prince of Dark who she had a crush on. Back at the palace in the Light Kingdom, Adele and the young boy head to meet the now recovered queen. Adele thanks her for her help in defeating Bal. Adele further reveals that he intends on suggesting the King of Dark to stop waging wars with the Light Kingdom. Fuse points out that he would be killed if he would do such a thing, but Adele strongly feels that he has to voice the people of Dark that do not wish for a war. Suddenly, a guard from Light informs the queen about the arrival of a message from the Dark Kingdom. Garoza enters the room and informs the queen about the Dark King's message, which was a request to extend peaceful affiliations with the Light Kingdom until the damage from Bal on the Dark Kingdom was repaired. The queen accepts the proposal. As Garoza, Adele and the young boy would be staying as guests, the queen decides to show the three of them around the Light Kingdom. The queen introduces the guests to Theo, who is initially scared as he mistakes the guests as enemies from the Kingdom of Dark. However, he learns that the young boy, Adele and Garoza were friendly. Theo then shows that he was trying to use magic to heal some injured cute monsters which were known as star tanukis. His older brother, Fuse, is surprised to see Theo using healing magic. Theo reveals that he had learned some magic from Shima. Garoza points out that the star tanukis in the Light Kingdom were so well behaved, whereas in the Dark Kingdom, they were totally mischievous. The queen expresses her desire to meet the magical creatures from the dark as well. Adele remarks that the magical creatures in the dark are black and have dark looks. Fuse laughs as he points out that the people of Dark themselves were dressed in black from head to toe. Adele then also points out that the people of Light were wearing white dresses themselves. Everyone laughs at the totally opposite fashion styles that the Dark and Light had. Garoza suggests that they exchange their dresses and Shima agrees to the idea. Fuse and Adele are the first ones to go. Fuse's sleeper build becomes more apparent in Adele's dress, which was more revealing. Adele, on the other hand, is less excited to wear the armor. Choosing between Shima and Iris, Garoza then decides to exchange dresses with Iris. However, Shima informs Garoza that a messenger from the Dark cannot wear the queen's dress. Hence, Garoza then gives her dress to Iris while using a towel to cover herself. The Garoza's dress sags up on Iris, who is not as thick as Garoza. Shima then exchanges clothes with Garoza, and the two then head on to take the opinion of the males outside. Adele shoulders the young boy to choose his pick, and the young boy bashfully gives an ambiguous answer. All of them then head on to play chess, and ironically, Fuse, the Knight Commander, kept on losing to everyone. As everyone got hungry, Shima suggested that they head on to have dinner together. Shima cooks up a meal, and Garoza also presents some food that she brought along from the Dark Kingdom. Adele finds the cooking in the Light Kingdom more plain to his taste. The young boy and Garoza agree as well, remarking that it lacked more seasoning. Iris, Theo, Fuse, and Shima then taste Garoza's food and find it extra salty. Shima realizes that the food in the Dark Kingdom is more heavily seasoned. The young boy then mixes Garoza's food and Shima's food together, which results in a dish that was more to his liking. The others at the table follow along, and are pleasantly surprised to find that the food from the Dark and Light Kingdoms blended perfectly together. After finishing the delicious meal, Fuse and Shima remark that Iris's hand-picked wild greens are also tasty to eat. Iris then plans to have everyone at the table pick out wild greens the next day. Garoza glances over the young boy and grows jealous as he begins to fall in love with Iris. At night, Garoza strolls the palace halls only to find that the young boy was awake at such a late hour, and she offers an ear to listen to his thoughts. Impressed by the queen's humbleness, the young boy reveals that he just came to a realization that Queen Iris was just like any other ordinary person. Garoza remarks that the young boy was like any other ordinary person as well. She then vows to stay with him while he is prince, and she further promises to continue offering support when he becomes the new Dark King. And the young boy is grateful for Garoza's support. The next day, both groups plan another adventure, this time to the forest for gathering wild vegetables. Adele suggests a fun twist before they start. She proposes they form pairs and turn the activity into a friendly competition. The duo that gathers the most vegetables will be declared winners. Garoza's face lights up at this idea because it presents a chance to spend time with the young boy, the main character. Fuse likewise is keen on the idea, hoping he could team up with Queen Iris. Before the vegetable hunting begins, Iris offers to provide some guidance. She shares tips on how to spot and collect the vegetables properly. Seeing the queen's expertise in this field, they decide she should sit out of the competition. Thus, the vegetable collection competition commences. The young boy ends up pairing with little Theo. Their lack of botanical knowledge soon becomes apparent, and they seek advice from Iris. Eventually, Iris ends up joining the young boy's team. The two get to enjoy some alone time during the activity. Fuse and Garoza can't help but observe them, their hearts filled with envy. Garoza reveals that she sympathizes with the young boy's views of peace, and hence she wants the young boy to become the next Dark King. Fuse is impressed that the young boy was very different than he imagined. Finally, all of the teams round up to count their hand picks. Garoza and Fuse's team were only able to find one edible plant while all their other picks were inedible. Adele remarks that his picks were more in number compared to the young boy's picks. However, in counting, the young boy and Theo's team emerge as the winners of the vegetable collection competition. After all the vegetables are gathered, Iris takes charge of preparing lunch with the freshly picked ingredients. While she cooks, everyone else busies themselves collecting firewood and cleaning the vegetables. While collecting firewood with Fuse and Adele, the young boy states that he enjoys basking under the sun in the Light Kingdom, something that was not possible in the Dark Kingdom, where light would rarely appear. Adele watches the young boy in agreement. Suddenly, he realizes that Theo was not with them. The young boy along with Fuse and Adele split up to look for Theo. The young boy looks everywhere, and eventually reaches Iris, who was washing the vegetables. While informing Iris of Theo's sudden disappearance, the young boy accidentally stumbles on a rock and falls face first on Iris, taking himself and her into the water stream nearby. The young boy asks the queen about Theo, only to learn from her that Theo had left earlier with Shima and Garoza. The water-soaked clothes clinging to her body makes the young boy blush, and the queen shares a similar reaction. The awkwardness suggests that they both harbor feelings for each other, a fact that might have been quite clear to anyone paying attention. Despite the awkwardness, the scene continues. The pair then retreat to a private spot to dry their clothes and spend some more time alone. Shima, Garoza, and Theo rejoin with Adele and Fuse to prepare lunch. When the young boy and Iris return to the group, now in dry clothes, Garoza can't hide her annoyance at seeing them together. All the characters chip in to prepare lunch. In the end, they sit together to enjoy a tasty meal. As Fuse had previously stated, the guests from Dark enjoy the meal. Shima further brings salt along with her, knowing that the guests from Dark will enjoy more seasoning. It's a cheerful and pleasant time. Unfortunately, this peaceful moment doesn't last long. The very next day, the Dark King commands the young boy and his friends to immediately return to the Dark Kingdom. Before they leave, Iris hands Adele a letter. The letter outlines a proposal for free trade between the Dark and Light Kingdoms. Adele readily agrees to deliver this message to his king. But then his demeanor suddenly changes. He mentions that the Dark Kingdom suffers from a lack of sunlight due to Iris's realm, rendering the land barren. Iris, in response, states that this is just the way the world naturally is. Suddenly, Adele begins to act strangely as he lectures the queen about the elite lifestyle of the light. He then transforms into a demon and lunges at the queen. The young boy reacts instantly, drawing his sword. He kills his comrade to protect Iris. The sight of the young boy's swift and deadly moves leaves Iris shocked. This seems to be a natural reaction to the violent turn of events. After being beaten up by Fuse, the young boy is then seized and confined and is deemed a threat by those who witnessed his actions. This incident breaks the alliance between the Kingdom of Light and the Dark Kingdom. Consequently, Garoza is forced to flee the Light Kingdom without any explanation of what had just unfolded within the palace. The incident deeply disturbs Fuse, as he had hoped that the two kingdoms could coexist peacefully. What troubles him even more is the looming inevitability of war between the two lands, which now seems to be a never-ending conflict. Meanwhile, Iris goes to the room where the progenitor rune resides, seeking guidance. The rune responds by enveloping Iris in a brilliant flash of light. In the meantime, the young boy comes to his senses in a prison cell. Naturally, he starts to reflect on the recent events. He realizes that he had acted on impulse by killing his comrade because he saw Iris's life in danger. He spends his time in prison deep in thought, grappling with the consequences of his actions. Just a few minutes later, Iris, who has transformed into a white cat, visits the dungeon where the young boy is held. She uses magic to unlock his cell and then leads him towards an exit. Eventually, they reach a cliff where the young boy finds his two swords unexpectedly. The white cat changes back into Iris. The boy is initially taken aback by the transformation, but then he remembers that he lives in a world of fantasy, and the shock fades. The two young people join hands, symbolically uniting. It's a touching moment. The young boy vows to aim for peace like Iris, making clear of his intentions that may have been misunderstood because of his rash behavior earlier. The young boy reveals himself to be the Prince of Darkness and promises to bring his ideals to fruition in the future. Likewise, Iris promises to wait for the boy, and she shows her support in making a peaceful world. Unfortunately, their moment of peace is shattered when soldiers from the Light Kingdom show up to arrest the young boy. Iris doesn't hesitate to tell the young boy to run. After sharing a hug, the young boy retrieves his swords and escapes on a sky ship that conveniently arrives to fetch him. He then returns to the Dark Kingdom. Back in her own realm, Iris is left thinking about the boy. Not long after, her kingdom is attacked by a group of dark beasts, presumably sent by the Dark King. Iris instructs her advisor to rally the kingdom's warriors for battle. In the midst of this, Fuse requests to be temporarily relieved from his duties, leaving the army. He explains his intention to find medicine for Iris, as he believes that she's in poor health. Iris assures him that she will recover and emphasizes his importance in protecting the kingdom. Despite Iris's reassurances, Fuse decides to disobey her orders. He leaves to seek the assistance of Alantia, the Elf King. As the two of them stand in the library, Fuse expresses his concerns to Alantia. Alantia remarks that Iris was quite drained because of her fight previously with Bal. He then reveals that Iris's magical power has returned to normal, but the magical nerves needed to transmit such power are yet to recover, hence being the core reason to her lack in power output. Alantia reveals that there is a way to restore Iris's health. He mentions a mysterious element known as the Pure Soul, which was found in a higher concentration in a remote cave. This element has the ability to heal a person's magical energy. Alantia further explains that if they can get this soul to Iris, she will be healed instantly. So, Alantia and Fuse set out from the capital of the Light Kingdom. Their destination is the cave deep in the forests. Their mission is to find the magical element to cure the queen.